Today on Teen Services Underground, which, full disclosure, I write for. If you want to read our blog, it's teenservicesunderground.com. Visit us on Facebook. But on our Facebook page, we do YA Smackdown on Wednesdays, and if you haven't done YA Smackdown and you're a librarian, you really should come over and do it because it's a lot of fun. But today's question was, what is like the most criminally underread book in like your section or that you can think of for teens? So I pulled some of mine that you guys really need to come and check out because they're amazing. Yeah. I wouldn't lie to you about that. Like, I mean, maybe, no, I wouldn't. So, these are some of the ones that I grabbed. I grabbed actually a lot. So I'll just go through randomly. Eon by Alison Goodman. So Alison Goodman just came out with a new book in a new series, and it's so good. It's The Dark Days Club, and it's in the Lady Helen series. But I think part of the reason people aren't hugely into Eon is that it's very complex when it comes to world building. So there's a lot spent on like how you should curtsy before this particular emperor or his, I don't know, vizier or something, and it's very intricate. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't read it. Like, it is so good. It's got dragons in it. Hello. Like, you really need this in your life. So, Eon, and then the second book in the series is Iona. So, you need this. I actually realized a lot of these are fantasy or fairy tale retellings. So, that's kind of what I am super into, so that explains why I picked those. The next one is Entwined by Heather Dixon, which I just don't think got a lot of press when it came out. And it is based on the 12 Dancing Princesses, which is one of my favorite fairy tales. And the entwinement of the, I was like the cover, the title and the cover, has to do with this dance that's done in the kingdom called the Entwined, and it's very intricate, and you just kind of, like, here's me dancing with a book. You don't dance with a book. But it's just, it's so beautiful and so well done that I wish this were checked out all the time. Similarly, another of my favorite fairy tale retellings, this is Sun and Moon, Ice and Snow, which is based on East of the Sun and West of the Moon, which is another fantastic fairy tale. And again, just something you really need to pick up and read. There's several YA adaptations of this fairy tale, but this one is one of my favorites, and it's by Jessica Day George, who also did the Dragon Slippers series, which is being mentioned on the Facebook page right now as one of everyone's favorite overlooked series. So check that one out too. I just don't have one here, so imagine. The Cure for Dreaming by Kat Winters. Anything Kat Winters does is brilliant, like full stop. She does brilliant historical fiction with a little bit of kind of a supernatural twist, and this one is, it makes suffrage and mesmerism somehow go together really, really well. So it's completely fantastic, and she has a new one out called The Stephen Thorny Way, which I would also highly recommend. This series by Alison and Croggon is one of my all-time favorite fantasy series, and it's The Naming. So it's the books of Pellinor, and so there's 4 books in total. One of them, this is about Myred. I always forget, like, you say her name differently, but it's, yeah, I always mess it up. So it's her and her brother and then her teacher who have to go against this bad, evil enemy, very much in the vein of, like, Tolkien, where you've got this really evil dude in a tower. You have to break his hold on the land, but it's just, it's so well done, and a lot of it is about the power of music and how music is magic. Ooh, I could reach over. Blackbird by Anna Carey. This one I really liked because it's written in second-person narration, so it's all you. So you do this, you run down the stairs, and some people really don't like that, so if that's something you know you hate, you can skip it. But it was really refreshing to read in a teen novel, and she doesn't remember anything about what happened to her only that she woke up on the subway tracks. Thankfully, she got off before the train came, otherwise there would be no book. But, and then everyone's trying to kill her in the book, so it's really fun, and there's a second one out as well. This is just a duology, which is a nice breath of fresh air when it comes to all the trilogies lately. Illusions of Fate by Kiersten White. I just think people don't read enough Kiersten White. Like, that's what I think. And what I love about this one is that, you know, you've got your fantasy, but it's also dealing with racial tensions as well in a very interesting way. And it's not like, you know, our world and with sort of a fantasy overlay. It's a completely different world, but you can see the parallels. So she's just a really good writer, and it's really lovely. And Jessamine, who's the main character, is definitely a spunky chick. So the last two are ones that I really wish more people would come and check out. Anything by Tamora Pierce you guys need to read, like everyone should probably read in their lives in order to become a good human being. This one is my friend Alison's favorite series. It's the Protector of the Small series about Caladri of Mindolin. And what's cool about this one is Kel, as opposed to the other books that Tamora Pierce writes, Kel has no magical powers whatsoever. She's just really strong and tenacious, and she gets things done. And she realizes that she's not going to be like a fancy wizard or anything, but she's the protector of the small. She is the one who speaks up for people who have no voice. So this one, it's a quartet, so I highly recommend that one. My favorite one is the Realms of the Gods, where she talks to animals, because, hello, talking to animals is awesome. But I didn't have the first book of that one in, but you should just read all of Tamora Pierce ever, so that's a good life choice. And finally, Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. This is a trilogy. It is an alternate history steampunk, where World War I is being fought between Darwinists and clankers. Yeah. So, like, the Germans have all the machinery on their side, and then the British have used genetics to sort of modify airships out of whales and things, which is really cool, but it's just a ridiculous amount of fun, and I don't know why this one isn't always checked out from the library, too, so come get this, because you need it in your life. I know his Uglies series is really, really popular, so if you like that one, I know this is really different, but I would definitely recommend trying it. So that's me in my really long, rambling, please read these books video, and I hope you go online and reserve them, and even if you don't see anything there, you can always send in a request via our What Should I Read Next form, and we'd be happy to suggest something for you.